Some of them will come up annually. Well, they do come up annually. I don't know whether they come up by season or just by June, I'm not sure.
So we should see what everybody else is charging.
Yeah,
So
but as they come up, we should do that.
We got the tennis thing coming up
Correct.
soon too, so. All right, thanks.
And other opportunities for rent and use fees is, one that came up to mind was wireless communication leases. You know, we could provide leasable space either at the park or some other city facility. Currently, we have a leasable space here at Town Hall for wireless communication antenna. The park would be an ideal place that we could actually have one,
Yeah,
right?
you can
Make it aesthetically pleasing, so you don't know it's
maybe a
there.
palm tree.
Right, and currently, and that revenue could approximate about 47,000 per year. That's what we currently get in our one with the town hall. So adding that additional lease at the park provides additional revenue not only to the town, but to park and offset park maintenance. Another one that we came up is, for town hall use specific, is parking space leases. We have parking space here, multiple parking spaces, and we thought that, hey, if we decide to put one, just like in other cities, put a parking meter and number the spaces, and we go pay the parking meter, and we're saying $2 per hour, 5 days a week, 11 hours a day, comes out to about $550. Comes up to $550 a day, 143,000 per year.
I don't want to come to any more meetings. I've been riding my bike today,
How about charging stations?
Oh, there we go.
but, well, they asked us to put in a charging station, but they're not, you know, they want you to pay. Well, we pay for it.
No,
free
you
for the
can-
first
you can
couple of
pay
years.
for it.
And as soon as it can go service back to the train station, we'll do it.
Okay, so,
Great.
Comment on this.
Uh-huh.
We should look at specific sites for cell towers. I mean, that's basically what you're talking about. And I understand that we've got one behind the police station. If we could find a place in the park where it was unobtrusive, that might make sense. I don't know, I assume the town has maybe had inquiries from other cellular providers looking, because service has not been terrific in Atherton, they're probably looking for where they can deploy. Do we have any, we don't have any property west of El Camino, right?
No, we pretty much are stuck with Town Civic Center and the park. We don't have any available public land. In the rights of way, we don't control. You know, the FCC says they can put them where they want, for the most part.
Problem is that way. It's really not that way. So, I mean,
yeah,
although,
there's Menlo Atherton.
yeah.
And Sacred Heart of cell towers themselves.
Right. They're not-
Microwaving everybody.
But that's
So
something
I
that
think
we
that's
look
worth
at.
looking at it. I mean, I don't know where we put it in the park.
Right.
I mean, an obvious place would be the water tower, there'd be lots of objections to that. So I don't know. In terms of the renting parking, doing parking meters around our civic center,
Any parking meter,
Just one.
One.
Just one, like in Redwood City,
one station.
you have one station, your parking stalls are numbered, and you just go to the
Oh, I
station.
understand. No, but I mean, charging people
Right.
to park.
Right, the philosophy of that, right.
Yeah, well,
I don't like that idea.
No.
I think that we've done a good job at getting people off the streets that have been heavily impacted by the construction sites. If we in fact do basement parking, we might want to put a meter down there and make sure that we're getting some revenue out of that. But when the new civic center design and build is in play, we have to address the parking.
We're not
If
gonna
we
have
do
that.
that, you'll just get people to park up on top. And we want to encourage, we're trying to create a center to the town. We want to encourage people to come to it. People love it that they can hook their security systems up to the police department. And I know we've always evaluated, well, one potential source of revenue is to charge people to do that, but people love it that it's free. We pay plenty of tax in the town. Personally, I would have a hard time with the idea of doing parking spaces.
I don't think that the concept was for the residents who just come in
Right.
and out.
It's just the
It's
outer
in the
parking.
perimeter.
Yeah,
The
perimeter.
problem, though, I think, Robert and staff, is that we're not like in a retail district where people would come and use a convenience parking in the lot to then go do some shopping or, you know. And if it were to get on the train and go, then
Caltrain.
Well,
take it.
Caltrain would get that money, right?
But the point you just said, and we have to be careful, is if we do get service back, and with the amount of ridership increase that they say is going to occur on those tracks,
They will.
people will take our spots that are going to commute on the train, therefore we have to make sure that the town is.
So
Yeah.
based on that, then if their lot gets filled up, then,
Right.
you know, they could do overflow and we could charge parking for
Right,
that.
that's what
But
we,
it would not, to address Vice Mayor DeGoya's concerns about the residents, you know,
Yeah,
needing.
the intent is not to
The
address
intent is not to.
residents coming to the
make
community.
that
No, no, no.
Yeah, it used to be, I guess, the 1990s to 2000, that if you were a resident, you got a sticker,
Right.
and you put it on your windshield, and you could park at the train station
Mhm.
for free.
right,
Everybody else could, other people.
something like
That
that.
was,
That's kind of what they
Dick
started.
Moore,
Right.
that was Dick Moore's deal.
Yeah, yeah,
That
yeah.
was Dick Moore's deal.
Yeah, and that could be arranged that way as well, you know, resident parking first 5 hours free, you know, that sort of thing.
No,
But
everybody's
the
gonna
idea
wanna
is
get that
to,
little,
because we
town
will have
logo.
limited
That's
parking
right.
at the community
Uh-huh.
center.
And it'll be
Well-
advertising for the town.
Yeah,
Well, either way, I think that's something that one, not to be implementing a meter today, but I think it's something when we get our service back that we're gonna have to consider to discourage the people that are downstream parking here, because that's what's gonna happen. Miller Park's already filled, we're gonna be filled, and then if we've got extra spaces, guess what?
Yeah.
They're gonna be gone.
And
Yeah.
that'll
But
work.
we don't wanna look like Nick
I know.
Dimey.
Okay.
This is gonna appear like Nick Dimey.
All right, document transfer tax.
Yes, the document transfer tax was just looked, it was recommended to look at changing the rate of the document transfer tax. We did look at it, the act allows counties to levy a tax of 55 cents per $500 of property value. Currently, San Mateo levies $1.10 per thousand of property value, and it says in the document transfer act, it says that once a county levies a tax, then the city is also authorized, permitted to levy a tax, but only half of what the county levies. So we researched that, we're currently doing what is required. So we're getting 55 cents per $1,000 of document transfer tax. This is not the real property transfer tax. To do that, the town must be a charter city. But the document transfer tax, we are at the full allotted tax rate.
Already, okay?
Development impact fee was another thing to look at, and this is kind of in road with the road impact fee that we had a couple years ago. Now it's based on building valuations. The fee at the time was at 0.71% of the project valuation for construction projects. So the fee at the time was found to be invalid based on the collection methodology, so that went away. However, development impact fees can be imposed for development. An impact fee can be established based on the specific property and development and the impact that it has within the area or the service area, infrastructure as well. It would be, our example would be a fee based on truck trips, grading activity, it'd be parking. That's something that we can implement.
There's gonna be excavation, then bring in heavy material, so it's the square footage, but.
Right.
Yeah, so this is.
So the timeline of it, it's something.
Nice OPM thing.
Right, and the timeline of it, it's
Right.
something that we should consider, but however, significant analysis will be needed to determine methodology of the fees collected, and also we require an engineering analysis and study to do that, to be completed, it's required.
but it's not a tax, it's a fee, so once we do that engineering study, then it's just a matter of the council adopting the fee to be.
I have a question on this one. Isn't this the one that we had to refund all the money?
Well, that's what they said, Jim, in the
Right, I
first
saw that,
page
but
here.
the
And
query I
so,
had was, that
Yeah.
would this smoke the builders up
I bet.
again, when they saw this thing coming down the pike, that they would really start
you bet,
threatening the city again with lawsuits?
That's
That's my
what
only
we do.
you
concern.
bet,
Yeah.
yeah.
Guaranteed.
I'm not sure about that.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
However, the development impact fees, they're proposals that are consistent with fees that other cities collect.
And it was the
It's-
off-haul fee also.
Yeah.
Remember the off-haul
But
fee?
yeah, but I think that we didn't do it right last time. So if we did it right with proper studies,
Right.
I mean, they can.
They're allowed.
You have to do the nexus.
But I've asked
Right.
them about that, and I've been told that they recognize that there was some fee that was legitimate, but that what was being done last time was excessive.
Was it? Yeah.
Oh,
It was
it's
based on-
excessive.
It's based on
Evaluation.
valuation, so
Yeah, it was a
So
straight
was it like a
line.
double
you're paying the
tax?
building
Was it
permit
taken-
twice.
Yeah, they were getting it twice.
Correct.
Right.
Right.
So we should look at it.
I
We
think
are.
we should authorize the town to proceed with it.
So we'll look into it, and we're moving on to the benefit assessment district.
Right.
I'll do this one really fast. We already talked about this one with respect to the drainage plan. And as we look at capital projects moving forward, any capital project that has a specific area or property benefit, staff will come back with a revenue component to it or a fund availability component that will include the potential of a benefit assessment district. Doesn't mean we have to do one, just means this is a component of the particular project the council can consider.
Again, I hate to jump in, we had one of these in town, it was unknown to everybody, but the sound wall down El Camino on Boyden Park
Yeah.
was privately funded by all the residents on the street and deeded to the city. Not any official, we all got together and just put in money and had it built and then deeded it over, gave it to the city.
So that was kind of an unofficial
It
assessment.
was an unofficial benefit assessment district,
There you
and it
go.
actually worked, that's.
So now that it needs maintenance, can we give it back to you? Just checking.
You guys don't even have the parts to maintain it, you put some wooden boards in it, some guy.
So this will be a perfect example of a benefit assessment district to fix that.
Yeah,
There we go.
Again.
They're very good.
All you gotta do is find the forms for the cut.
Motions.
One of the other things that I wanted to have us, along with the drainage, and the benefit assessment districts or whatever that we're talking about, is undergrounding the
Yeah, sure.
utilities, undergrounding the telephone and high tension wires, electrical wires. It's unbelievable that we live in this affluent town and we do not have underground utilities. Now, I know Lindenwood does.
Wow.
I don't live in Lincoln.
Just
Well, no,
Undergrounding of utilities is a perfect vehicle, assessment districts are a perfect vehicle for underground utilities, and they're done in a number of communities.
But I think we can also gauge when we survey residents and put that part of the survey, because we like to know that, because if there is residents, and we have a whole section that wants to do it, then obviously,
well, because if we're gonna do drainage improvements, you know, it would be a perfect time to kind of do them together. And I understand that there's some money somewhere, or there used to be some money somewhere, from PG&E to do underground utilities.
There's Rule 28 money, and we've got about enough to do maybe half a mile.
There's a half a mile in
Just
front of
your
my
street.
house.
Glenwood is a half
There's a
mile
benefit
long. It is, it's a half mile long.
Laurel, it's another benefit assessment
It'll be a
district.
nice, it'll be a nice test case.
Let me tell you a little story. So,
After or before?
no, right, really
We're-
fast,
Oh,
really
Okay,
fast.
because
On
I have to
film.
leave at 6 o'clock.
Okay, I'll do it after.
do we
No,
have
no, I want to hear the
any more
story.
questions?
Let's-
Motion to adjourn?
Okay,
Some of
what's the story, Rick?
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
So,